Harry James.
What's that? What? Harry James? That is absolutely correct, Mr. Lawrence, out there in Glenville, Indiana. You have won the $24,000 jackpot. Congratulations, Mr. Glenville, out there in Lawrence, Indiana. You were absolutely right. Are you happy? I'll bet you are. Now, Mr. Lawrence, let me tell the radio audience the solution to the riddle. Pins in a haystack, Little Girl Blue refers to Miss Betty Grable. She's a famous pinup girl, and since Harry James is Little Boy Blue, come blow your horn, that makes her Little Girl Blue. Simple when you know the answer, isn't it? And you can't see me, but I'll see you is the simplest clue of all. Miss Grable can't see Mr. James when he's on tour with his famous band, but he can always see her by going to the movies. And there we have the solution to the riddle that has been baffling radio audiences for 10 weeks all over America. Clear the tracks to Glenville, Indiana. The $24,000 in prizes are on their way.
Oh, come on in, Amy. It's Mr. Ferguson. Mr. Ferguson, my wife.
How do you do, Mrs. Lawrence?
How do you do?
Mr. Ferguson's a tax consultant. He's going to figure out just exactly what our taxes will be and the best way to meet it.
The best way to meet a tax, Mr. Lawrence, is to pay it. I always like to have it understood at the outset that I do not assist in any income tax evasion.
Well, I'm not trying to get away with anything.
It's impossible to get away with anything, Mr. Lawrence.
I'm not trying to.
Good. Now, let's have no further misunderstanding on that score.
Do you know how much is?
I don't know.
Ah, here it is. The latest ruling from the Bureau of Internal Revenue states that loot shall be considered income and as such taxable at the fair market value. In other words, the retail price. Therefore, your jackpot winnings plus your year's salary less all legitimate deductions will bring your tax to not less than $7,000.
$7,000?
Oh, no.
Where am I going to get $7,000?
Well, that is a question, since I noticed from your figures that you have only $496 in the bank.
Well, I'll just have to get busy and sell some of this stuff. It's the only way out.
Why don't we just send the government the things we don't want?
The government only wants money, Mrs. Lawrence.
The radio program didn't send us money. Why should we send the government money?
Amy.
You know what I'd do on March the 15th? I'd send them the pony. That's what I'd do, the pony and the soup.
Dear, you don't quite understand. Now, Mr. Ferguson, now the retail price on, say, the refrigerator's $300. Suppose I can only sell it for $150.
You still have to pay tax on $300.
Oh, still $300. What are you? This is crazy. You mean to tell me that all that stuff out there is income?
That's the ruling, Mr. Lawrence. Of course, you can always hire a lawyer and take your case to court.
Hire a lawyer? I don't even know where I'm going to get the money to pay you.
Oh, I am a legitimate deduction. Of course, I could be persuaded to take that refrigerator in lieu of a fee.
Oh, you might. Well, at least then I wouldn't have to pay an income tax on it.
Oh, you pay just the same.
I what?
Don't feel too bad, Mr. Lawrence. I would have to pay an income tax on it, too.
Oh, so the government's going to collect twice on that refrigerator, huh? How about that? How about that, huh? Does that sound honest to you? You know, I just might not pay this at all.
In that case, they would attach your salary.
Then I'll quit my job and live on soup.
They would attach this house.
Then I'll burn the house down. What about that?
Bill, it isn't Mr. Ferguson's fault.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Ferguson. I appreciate what you're doing.
Oh, well, that's quite all right. You should see Mr. Woodruff when I make out his tax return. Oh, my. Do you mind if I take a look at the refrigerator on my way out?
Of course not, Mr. Ferguson. It's right through there in the kitchen.
Thank you.
$7,000.
What are we going to do, Bill?
Well, we're just going to have to start selling the stuff, that's all. The butcher offered me 20 cents a pound for that meat.
And he'll sell it right back to us for $1 a pound.
Yeah, I suppose so.
There's all this furniture Leslie's throwing out. We could sell it.
Yeah, well, everything except this chair. Now, don't let anybody touch my chair, huh?
I won't, dear.
It's kind of like an old friend. $7,000? What about the state tax?